Okay. Hi guys, so welcome to this live stream. Today is about Virginia and it is about the governor's elections that is going to take place in no more than 2 days. 2 days and a few hours. And I was looking at the Senate election results from 2020 as well as the Trump Biden results from the same year. And even though they're not very good ways of, putting up your expectations, I noticed something peculiar. Daniel Gade, who was the Senate candidate, did very much worse than Trump in the rural areas, but he didn't actually do much better in the suburban areas either. For example, in Loudoun County, 61-36 Biden Trump and 61-38. Okay, so he did a bit better, but so did Warner because there was less third-party votes. Also, in Arlington and Alexandria, noticeably, he did better than Trump, or at least Warner did worse. So I guess at this point, the state is so urban that you can't really expect him to do well at all. But yeah, if you are going to be very pessimistic, this is probably the way to look at it. The truth is that during the last governor's elections, turnout has been very, very low compared to the presidential year election in the years prior. So I believe that Ed Gillespie got a bit more than 1.1 million votes to Ralph Northam's 1.4, something in that area. But yeah, let's go over to the 2021 gubernatorial election and take a look at it, at the polls that has come out now. New poll that came out recently, and yeah, here it is. Echelon Insight. So it is a Republican that has Youngkin up by 3 points, while the other Roanoke College has McAuliffe up, but only by 1. And it's also really exciting to see that Princess Blanding is having very varied impact in some of these polls. Here she has 5, in others she has 1, and there are still a lot at undecided. But fewer and fewer. Yeah, here most people are making up their minds, and it is really looking, at least in the polls like that, favoring Youngkin, because none of these polls since middle of October has had McAuliffe above 50%. There's one poll from Fox News, which is among likely voters, has him at 53. Has Youngkin at 53, which is kind of a big deal. Kind of. And wow. Now, it's also interesting because when I made my last video about this, I believe Real Clear Politics had Youngkin ahead, but the 538 did not in the average of polls. But now they also have him ahead, and on average he is ahead by 0.6, which I really don't think is going to be the result. I think that turnout is going to be such a big factor that, well, either Terry McAuliffe has explosive African American turnout and wins, otherwise Youngkin has an okay operation. But yeah, I would like to rescind a little bit because, as I just said, Northam and Gillespie, quite a big difference, but still compared to Trump in 2020. Noticeably, you have this county right here, which went for Gillespie, did not go for Trump. Yeah, it's called Stafford County. Stafford County. I believe it went. It is usually a very Republican county, but yeah, I can tell you that Youngkin is going to win it. That's not going to be a shock. But any Republican has to if he wants to win. Even further back, 2013, last time McAuliffe was on the ballot in Virginia, then candidate Ken Cuccinelli won over here. I believe it's Enrico County. No, it's Chesterfield. This is Enrico. And that's probably going to stay Democratic also. But Chesterfield, I believe, will flip into Youngkin's column. And of course, we have Virginia Beach, which is another bellwether. Even though it went for Cuccinelli and Cuccinelli lost, I think it does say something about what you can expect from that. Oh yeah, who's going to win? I did make a video a few weeks ago or something where I said I believe it was a 2-point favor of McAuliffe, but anything plus -5 from that, I do hope Youngkin wins. And I would like to say I hope that Youngkin wins, but then it really sucks to be wrong. Because right now I think that McAuliffe is really... He has really been bending the truth a lot, just trying everything he can to link Youngkin to Trump, sort of on a really bad effort. I mean, it has not been a lot of truth telling in that matter. So no, yeah, how is it going to go? I have no idea, but I would like to look at something that has been appearing lately, the election shuffler, because it allows you to go into the state itself and well, not North Carolina, and determine where you think these polls, where you think these counties have to be in order for a specific result to occur. And so, yeah, Youngkin has to outperform Trump by like 10 points, and it definitely means he needs to win Virginia Beach, he needs to win here in Chesterfield, and he needs definitely to win Stafford. I mean, that should be a quite solid GOP county. But also turnout in all of these suburban areas is going to have a large impact. Even though he wants to sway many Democratic voters into voting for him, it's still going to be a big need for turnout to be lower. Because in a big turnout election, McAuliffe is going to win because he's the Democrat. Let's see, Loudoun County. For Youngkin to win in Loudoun County, where do we need to put it? I think it has to be less than 10. I'm sorry, for him to win in the state, where do we have to put Loudoun County? Okay, let's just say 8 or something, and then Prince William is a bit more Democratic, so 10 there. And then Fairfax, probably around 20 or a bit less. And now we can see that the results are really coming down to sort of the Obama-Romney race of 2012. Of course, in the raw vote, it's a big difference. 2.2, 2.1. Yeah, not something that I would get too excited about there. But yeah, he really needs to flip all of these counties, and Norfolk is one where he needs to draw up the margins, and he's getting closer. Oh, my voice is really bad. I'm not going to keep this going for a long time today because I'm really I have been a bit sick. Needs to eat some more fish and train a bit more, maybe get back in my healthy. Oh yeah. Hi. Nice that people are tuning in. So yeah, what are we in for here? Youngkin is leading. He is leading by skin of his teeth. And oh yeah, it's really hard to say if he can really flip these counties. That's the beginning, but it's not enough in itself. He needs to really draw up the margins. He needs depressed turnout on the Democratic side. But I believe that there was signs that there has already been depressed turnout from I don't remember who talked about it, but there was like 1/3 of the early voting in Northern Virginia in 2017 happened. Yeah, 1/3 of the early votes was in Northern Virginia, but this time it was only 1/6 of the early voting. So that's certainly a big difference, and not something that is good for the Democrats. Looking back at the Republican primary, though, I'm actually really glad now that Youngkin won, because I do believe that he's the guy with the best chance. I mean, if you take Amanda Chase, she is the Trump in heels, as she said herself. She would not be able to win in a state like Virginia. Kirk Cox, I guess he's okay, but I mean, this looks like a mugshot. It looks like he's been in jail. And then you have Pete Snyder, who looks... I mean, I don't know too much about him, but I do believe that he objected or disagreed with the election results, which is also not a good fit in a state like Virginia. So Glenn Youngkin, a bit less controversial. That's certainly a good thing. Okay, but I wanted to take a look also a bit at endorsements here. endorsements in the general, because of course everyone is endorsing Terry McAuliffe on the Democratic side. But noticeably on the Republican side, George Bush has not endorsed Youngkin. Maybe because he believes that that it wouldn't help him. Not completely sure. But he has a lot of governors. 3 former governors of Virginia, Bob McDonnell, Jimmy Gilmore, and Mr. George Allen, which all won quite substantial victories back in their days. And something that I'm actually quite excited about is Larry Hogan, because he is the type of moderate. I mean, if a Republican can win in Maryland, certainly they can win in Virginia, right? And yeah, Larry Hogan is definitely someone who I think brings a lot to the table with his endorsement, but it's not getting too much media attention, so it won't have too much to say. But yeah, I've been considering actually live streaming on election night. I can say now that I think my health will have to improve for that to happen, but I think it will. So I'm still going to look if I'll be live streaming on my own, or if I will be live streaming with other YouTubers, because I've been chatting a bit with American Predictions and those guys. So we will see. I think that it's going to be not necessarily down to the wire, but right now either candidate could win by up to 3 or 4 points. I don't know, but thanks to those who have been dropping by watching. I am thinking I'll call it a day, and hopefully, probably live stream on election night, and hopefully we will have a Youngkin victory, and it will all be great. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.